Hello everyone. Hello everyone. This is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and we are in my most favorite battleship of World of Warships, and that is the Tier 8 Amagi. Now, at the very beginning, of course, as you can hear, there's a lot of speak. There's a lot of the thank yous and the affirmatives and the cussing. Yeah. So we are in, obviously, the Amagi, and we are playing on hotspot. We have a Tirpitz, Amagi, Colorado, Kutuzov, York, Miyoko, Bajani, Benson, 2 Sims, Shiratsuyu, Gnevny, North, and on the enemy team there is a North Carolina, Bismarck, Gneisenau, Chapayev, York, Miyoko, Stores, Leander, Kagero, 2 Mahans, and a Farragut. So I am joined once again with a good buddy of mine, Jay and his Benson. And we are going to push towards A. And this is going to be a very, very interesting battle. And hopefully after this episode of Funday Sunday, you'll understand why I love my Amagi. I love her. She's just so powerful and so graceful and just beautiful. Like, I've always wanted to get a little model for myself so I can have it in my room. I would love it. Oh, I did find one online that I really did like, but I've yet to actually get it. So I am detected, which must mean there is probably a little destroyer within 13 kilometers of me, and more than likely he's in between that island. And speak of the devil, there he is. So I go ahead, open up on my guns, and oh, look at that dispersion. So tight. Sigma value was a little high, but it's alright. First salvo missed, second salvo we got a hit. Not too bad. So I am kind of pushing northwest a little bit, and this may prove devastating for me, but we'll see. We'll see if I change my mind. I know what's gonna happen. So this Farragut is popping smoke. Yeah, he's dead. It goes down to the friendly York. And that is the very first kill of the game, so very well done. He did fire torpedoes, but it's Farraguts, and not likely they are going to hit us. So at this point, I do go ahead and decide to turn in. Obviously, there is the Stores, the Leander, and a Wild Mahan starts coming around the island. Now, he obviously knows I'm around here, and it was a very good choice that I actually went this way, because I would have ate torpedoes from this Mahan, and trying to bring at least my back guns to bear. Now my secondaries are opening up. He takes a big hit. Don't actually know from what. I'm gonna have to check that in editing. Didn't see what hit him. Back guns are available. Opens a salvo. Bring him down to 491 points of health. He's trying to get torpedoes off, but goes down to the friendly Sims. So all our destroyers are currently in cap and have pop smoke, and now no one can see anything. We did lose a cruiser. We lost the York, who got the very first kill of the game. So I'll go ahead and pop my plane. Our secondaries are opening up once again. Now the only downside of the Amagi secondaries is it has a split ammo type on its guns, secondary guns, which is armor piercing and secondaries, which can be beneficial, but at the same time you can't always get that fire. Now the North Carolina was spotted as well as the Gneisenau. I probably should have fired my back 3 guns around at that Gneisenau because I was waiting for the North Carolina to come around that bend, and I don't think this North Carolina captain is going to be that stupid. So at this point, no one can really see, so I'll go ahead and pull out. There is the broadside Gneisenau. Torpedoes are incoming. Not like that I can actually do anything to dodge these. I'm just going to have to eat it. And get hit on the nose, but able to repair it, which is always good. Now, unfortunately, I have a broadside Stores, but I do not have my guns reloaded. They are reloaded in about 6 seconds, and he actually does turn in and is able to avoid it. Now, at this time, the North Carolina captain does take out our friend in his Benson, which is unfortunate, but salvo off at the York. 4 over penetration only nets us about 5,000 points of damage. Not what I was hoping. I was hoping to actually get a Citadel on that York. That would have been nice. Now the Stores is pushing in. He is being aggressive. He has a whole bunch of ships firing at him. It looks like he is satellite. Now our team on the east side has taken control of C, which is very good. And it looks like the enemy team do have control over B. Now we do know there's at least 2 cruisers that were at least last seen. Actually, I think it was a cruiser and a battleship that were last seen heading north from B. Now I'm actually starting to push out, trying to be careful. Do have to be careful of that North Carolina, even though the armor on the Amagi can be a bit tricky, I guess you could say. Broadside to North Carolina at this range, yeah, I'm gonna eat a Citadel. But this North Carolina decides to show us a broadside. Ah, what a shame. There we go. Nets us a Citadel, do about 30,000 points of damage. He does about 13,000 damage in return. I will gladly take that. So I go ahead and decide to turn in. I do not want to keep presenting a broadside to this North Carolina, and obviously this North Carolina is just going to go ahead and retreat north. There's really no point for him to stay around. Now we do have, it looks like our Tirpitz is actually moving up from the south, and we have a Colorado that is currently fighting against a Gneisenau and a York, and he's going to have a tough time. Now, Fire Salvo, we only get 3 penetrations and do about 4,000 points of damage. It looks like I'm also getting hit from the Miyoko out east, and there's not really much I can do. So instead of continually firing at a angled North Carolina, I'm gonna actually switch my attention over to this enemy York. He is showing me at least a broadside. I would like to get shots off at this Miyoko, who is just continually sitting there broadside to me, but unfortunately there's not much I can do. My guns are going to take too long to actually get turned around, and he's actually going to be able to survive. Now the North Carolina has moved behind this island, which means it is safe for me to actually get turned, and I'm going to try to get turned and head towards B. And this is where it's going to get fun. Now, I'm going to give high praise to the Ognavoy and the Sims captain that are still alive, that's still with us, because they do help me in this battle. They are really good team players, do provide smoke, so high praise to you. Let me actually look at your guys' name. Oh, sorry, it was the Nemny, sorry. The Navtech 4001 and ABLX DD, high praise to you guys. You guys were fantastic in this battle. But anyways, so I've kind of come around this island, and being a little bit careful, do have to be aware there is a enemy Bismarck that is starting to move south, and he's probably hoping to get me. Now I am obviously detected more than likely by a enemy destroyer, or probably the enemy Gneisenau that is actually right behind me. Now, sitting broadside like this can be very detrimental, especially if the Bismarck could get around. But fortunately, like I said, we have a good team player. The Miyoko is actually starting to push out. We do get about 10,000 points of damage. Not too bad, not too bad. Sims does lay down smoke, which does mean that we are going to be hidden for a little while, so I can actually push out a little bit forward than I was originally. Now the torpedoes on the Bismarck are looking pretty good. It looks like 2 torpedoes do land against that Bismarck, which does force him to turn away. Now this Bismarck probably could have used hydro. He has German hydro. If he wanted to, he could have been aggressive. I probably wouldn't have been able to do much damage, but at the same time, had he actually pushed in, the Nemny probably could have fired off torpedoes, but good thing he turned away. Do fire another salvo, do around 6,000 points of damage. Not too bad. Now at this point, our friendly team are slowly going down on the east side, and we are fairly well even with the enemy team. We lost our Colorado to the enemy York, but the enemy friendly Tirpitz that actually came from the east side is actually pushing north. His positioning is probably not the best, not what I would have liked to have seen, but it's all right. I was hoping to get shots off on that North Carolina, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case because he's actually pushing north. I was hoping he was going to push into A, but oh well. So torpedoes are coming in. It looks like it's probably the Miyokos, which is fortunate because now he no longer has those torpedoes on that side, so he can't actually fire at anyone. And I'm actually going to start pushing out. I want to get rid of this Miyoko and the Bismarck. That would be very nice. Now, unfortunately for us, no one can see anyone. I asked someone to spot, but unfortunately for us, the Nevny actually does push out and allows us to spot this Bismarck, which is going to be good because now we can actually fire someone and possibly do some damage. Land about 3 shells and do 11,000 points of damage. Not too bad. I will gladly take that. Keeping an eye on the enemy North Carolina, hoping to actually get him. And the Miyoko does start to push around. And just waiting for my guns to reload. We are detected, but this Miyoko is still selling in a straight line. It looks like he's actually trying to turn away, but it is too late. Goodbye. 1 citadel later, and that is 1 dead Miyoko. Now, our team are behind in ships. We only have 2 battleships and 2 destroyers versus a destroyer, a cruiser, and 3 battleships. Now, the enemy Bismarck has beached himself against the island and is sitting fairly broadside to us. It looks like he is trying to heal up and hoping that we can land a salvo. I was expecting him to actually start reversing, but it does not look like he's wanting to do that. And only 2 shells land. If he had a third, we probably would have killed him, but he does survive for a little bit longer, and it looks like the Miyoko does drop torpedoes. Now the Nevny is being gracious and dropping smoke, and unfortunately I kind of push him out of the way. I feel kind of bad. Looks like we possibly have that cruiser firing in at us as well. And now no one can see anything. We are not detected. They are detected. But I have a plane. And back guns have actually turned around a little bit. So I can actually get a salvo off against the enemy guys now. Looks like the Bismarck is starting to reverse. Shots off at that Bismarck. Can we get a kill? There we go. A kill on that Bismarck. Now the guys now is still pushing south. He is spotting the Sims. And he is probably focused on him. Now, the friendly Tirpitz, I don't exactly know what he's doing. He hasn't really been aggressive. He's fired torpedoes at the guys now, and they obviously died off. And the guys now goes down to us. We get high caliber, but in that time of firing, we got hit by a torpedo, and a Kagero has come up on our screen. The Kagero has actually taken out the friendly Nevny. We did lose the Sims, and now it's going to be a close quarter battle with this Kagero. Now, we do know the Kagero has at least fired his torpedoes. Now, he does have a potential of having another set, as well as having the torpedo reload booster. And I need to be extremely careful against this Kagero. We are set aflamed once again, and we do earn Confederate from that salvo. We do have a Stores that is hammering away at us, and this Stores player is actually a really good captain. High praise to you as well. But we do take out the enemy Kagero. Now here I could have done probably something a little bit different. Now I am showing a lot of broadside to this Chapayev. It's a Chapayev. I apologize. I need to keep my ship straight. And he's firing AP, and you can see the damage is actually starting to rack up. We have a fire. I'm going to let that burn. And had the chance of killing off this Chapayev, but I was expecting him to actually start accelerating a little bit sooner, and unfortunately we get only 3 over penetration and deal a very insignificant amount of damage. Now, while we are dealing with this Chapayev, our friendly Tirpitz is currently combating against the North Carolina. And I went ahead and brought my front guns to bear, see if I can land a salvo on this Chapayev. He did switch back to HE, probably wanting to at least set us aflame, and that's actually a really good idea because that means I'm gonna have to use my damage control. So if my damage control goes off and he sets me aflame, I'm probably going to die. He does set another fire and does set us alight for the second time. Now, in this battle against the North Carolina and the Tirpitz, they are showing neither broadside to each other, but the North Carolina captain is showing a nice big broadside to me, and of course the Chapayev gets a fire on us. Of course, guns are brought to bear on this North Carolina captain. Salvos away, and one Citadel and one dead North Carolina, and Kraken unleashed. Very, very nice. Now, I am very low in health. I am on fire, and I have about 15 seconds until my fire control goes offline. And I go ahead and pop my heal, and I'm just hoping to get out of range and prevent myself from dying from this Chapayev. Now, we are not detected, so we are going to be able to survive. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, we are going to get about 10,000 points of health back from that heal. And we have about 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, and we have 2 bases to their 1. Now, the only way the stores can probably win is if he took B or even took me out. Now, I really want some revenge against the stores. The stores has been kind of a pain in the butt, especially that last battle I had against the Kagero, and he constantly setting me aflame. Any battleship captain knows that and hates being set afire. It is the worst feeling in the world because you have no control over that. You are just going to burn away until either you die or your damage control comes on, and it's the worst feeling in the world. So we're gonna go ahead and turn around. I am wanting, like I said, I want my revenge against these stores, and I do ask the Tirpitz captain to actually follow me. Like I said, not 100% certain on what this Tirpitz captain was doing, but it looks like he's actually going to start following me into B. Kind of taking his time, though, which is unfortunate. We are detected, and that must mean the stores came out of the islands and is probably trying to capture B. And I am probably going to be his most favorite target. I am low on health, like I said, and Chapayev can do fairly significant amount of damage. Now, this angle is actually a bit rough. It's very difficult to land these shells, and it looks like he's actually starting to dodge and weave, and we only get over penetration. So unfortunately for this, the Chapayev captain is going to survive, but we do win on points. So this is actually going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday, and hopefully you guys will understand my love for the Amagi. Really do love this ship. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.